Okay, we on live.
All right. Shabbat Shalom. This is the brothers of GMS New Orleans coming at you with another live Shabbat lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Barakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. Shabbat Shalom. And with this, lesson, kind of, laying back and off of, going into Romans chapter 9 that the brothers were going into the other day, just how the Most High has created everybody for their preordained positions. You have those that are the elect, they're going to be of the elect. Those that are, the wicked of our people, that are going to be the wicked and be destroyed. And then you have the wicked, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, who is estranged from the womb, as it says in Psalms chapter 58. Now, as it also says, who can make that straight which the Most High has made crooked? Esau, Edom has been created to be the wicked, and he's going to fulfill the will of the Most High on the left hand to do all these, wicked things. And there's nothing he or anybody else can do to escape their preordained lots by the Most High. But we're going to start it off in that Sirach 33, verse 10.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus of Sirach, chapter 33, verse 10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth.
Keep going.
In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse.
And much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. We know the Most High, is the author of everything out here. So he made everybody to fulfill their preordained lots in his grand scheme of things. Keep going on.
Verse 12, it says, some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself.
Keep going.
But some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places.
Straight to the point. Some of them hath he sanctified and exalted and set near himself. The children of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today, though right now, the elect of the nation of Israel. And as it also says, but some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. And Baba Kashak, can somebody give me Isaiah chapter 34, verses 5 to 6? Or really just 5. And let's see who, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai has cursed out here.
I got you.
Khan, you got it.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
And we know, Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, but it's saying, shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Hey, these Edomites are cursed. Hey, they're the wicked, and what? They're also cursed with biblical leprosy. And, they ultimately, and being the wicked, that's enough because they can't do anything to escape that lot. Just like, Israel can't do anything to escape their lot, or anybody can do anything to escape their lots. They can't, and as it says in Hebrews chapter 12, they can't find any place of repentance. So even if it weren't these Edomites' spirits to try to do righteousness, they are incapable of doing it. And they're going to continue to be wicked until they're ultimately, taken off this planet after that first 1,000 years of the kingdom of heaven.
I got one real fast.
Y'all can get y'all's precepts.
Yeah, let me get this one real fast. This is Daniel 12 and 13. It says, but go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot in the end of the days. And that goes for the righteous, and that definitely goes for the wicked. We can because everybody's back, like the apostles and the elders. The apostles and the elders go into time and time again. All right, everybody's here ultimately back, in the reincarnation for that judgment, man. All All right. Even if it was the other scripture that talks about when the wicked be multiplied is for the sword. So these different Edomites that came and then it came back as newborn babies. All right, they're back for their, and you've seen it time and time again. You're seeing Edomites with triplets, twins. All right, and why all of a sudden this is so much of an increase in twins now, man? So much of an increase in Edomites and different nations, even 2/3 having twins and shit, because these are the different people that are coming back. All right, for that ultimate judgment, man. It was the ICBM missiles is going to be the definitely the gavel that's going to bang, man. And the Most High is going to be the one to bang it. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to be the one to bang that ultimate gavel. All right, and we're standing in the most spiritual time there is. All right, right now as we speak, this is the most spiritual time there is to be on the planet Earth. All right, to see with your own two eyes, prophecies and judgment play out in the flesh. Go ahead, Op.
They're elected. They're elected for destruction and nuclear fire and captivity. And it's a beautiful precept you brought out, because, it was speaking of the prophet Daniel, where it said he will come back and stand in his lot. What does it say in 1 Corinthians 14? The spirit of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. So just like the wicked are coming back in their lot to do what they did in the past, it's the same thing for the righteous, the same thing for the prophets. They're back here before the people again, as it also says in Revelation, to prophesy this word. But you have your precept, Kaya.
Con, there's Proverbs 16:33. It says the lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposal thereof is of Yahweh.
Hey, the lot is cast into the lap. And when you cast lots, it's for what? For you to make a decision. That's what you're casting lots about. But it's saying the whole disposition is from Yahweh. So what Yahweh is cast the lot, and it's fallen on where he wants it to fall, for whatever a person's lot is to be. The righteous to be the righteous, and the wicked to be the wicked, and do the things that the wicked would be doing.
Yeah, when you look up that word lap, it says in the midst. So whatever the Lord have chosen, or like it said in the NLT, we may throw the dice, but the Lord determines how they fall. At the end of the day, man is just walking, he's just walking his life out. He walking his lots out. And Daniel spoke about it in his lot. You got it, brother.
Kind. Since you're in that.
I got something real fast. This is from the Smith's Dictionary on Lot. I just get this little snippet. Let me see that. Okay. It says the custom of using lots. All right. The custom of deciding doubtful questions by lots is one of the great extents in high conquistity. It says among the Jews, lots were used with the expectation that the Most High would so control them as to give a right direction to them. They would very often use by the Most High's appointment as the mode of casting lots. We have no concern information provided several modes were practiced. All right, but it tells you right here though. It says lots were used with the expectation of the Most High would control them as to give a right direction to them. All right.
God, hey, for brothers that play dice, I know there's a saying where it's like they're playing with some weighted die, that means that they're playing with some faulty die to get their own conclusion when they roll. We're playing with some spiritually, weighted die right now. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai cast those die to get the exact, outcome he wants it to play as. And, nobody's going to win this game of dice or this game of cards against Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. He's already decided who's going to be the winners and who's going to be the losers.
I got another, let me see. Another little snippet, small snippet. It says lot. It says that by which is the fate or portion of one is determined, that by which an event is committed to change. That is to the that is to the determination of the province as to lot, to cast lots, to draw lots. That's what it says.
God, could you reread that part again, Baba Kashab?
Yeah, this is from now. This one changed. This is in the Webster's. All right, number 2. It says that by which the fate or portion of one is determined. That by go ahead.
And the fate or proportion of everybody is determined by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. As we were going into it, that Sirach 33, what? He's made all men's ways diverse. Some have he exalted and, made high, and some have he cursed and brought low. And nobody, can change, their predetermined lot by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Just as I think Yahweh Shai said in the New Testament, what man can add a hair to his head or a cubit to his height? What? I know you wanted to make a point, Amawad.
Yeah, I don't know most I could do that, man.
Oh, kind of.
Guys, real quick to back up what y'all saying. It's Psalms 16:5. Yahweh is the portion of mine inheritance, and of my cup thou maintainest my lot. So Most High maintains our lot, no matter what we do. Like the brother say all the time, you try to run away from prophecy, you run right into it because it's set up by the Most High.
Look at Jonah. Look at the example of Jonah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, and just to back up with Jonah, what? Jeremiah, he didn't want to go out and prophesy, but the Most High had that spirit, that fiery spirit in it to where he could do nothing but prophesy the word. Just like these Edomites can do nothing but be wicked. Just like the elites can do nothing but, crash their system to bring about the sea hip and ultimately, their downfall.
I got you one.
Con. I know you've been holding one, Kalaya.
Let me finish that off real fast. It says that by which the fate of a portion of one is determined, that by which an event is committed to change, that is to the determination of the province as to cast lots, to draw lots.
Hey, the determination, it's already, been predetermined what the outcome's going to be. And I know Quashab's going to know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a scene in one of those Star Wars movies where they were casting a die. If it landed on green, then this situation would have happened. If it landed on red, then the other situation would have happened. And, the character, the Jedi with the spiritual powers, when they rolled the dice, he moved his hand and the dice went on the color he wanted it to happen with. That's what it is with Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The outside parties that are not in control think that everything's subject to chance and free will. But at the end of the day, once the Most High casts that lot, it's going to land exactly where he wants it to land. And people are going to do exactly what he wants them to do. But I know you had something, Kaya, and then we got you, Kalaya. And real quick, if you were still in that Proverbs, could you get a 16:9, Baba Kashab?
I got off it.
Oh, you got off it? Oh, kind. Well, I'll just. Oh, somebody said they were holding it?
Yeah, kind.
Can you bring it out real quick?
This is Proverbs 16:9. It says, a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directed his steps.
Hey, straight to the point. A man's heart or mind deviseth his way. You wake up and think, oh, I've got my day already predetermined on what I'm going to do. But Yahweh directed his steps. Your day could be going one way, but then a curveball completely throws you in an opposite direction, a direction you would have never thought you were going in. But the thing to that, the catch-22 to that, is that you're going exactly where you were meant to go, because it's Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that is directing, every man's steps and the next move they're going to make. But you got it, Kaya.
Con, it's Job 23:14. Well, I'm going to read 13. It says, but he is in one mind, and who can turn him? And what his soul desireth, even that he do it. For he performeth the thing that is appointed for me, and many such things are with him.
Beautiful. But he is in one mind, and who can turn him? Like going into the potter's clay. Can the potter say to him that formed him, why made me thus? No, we're just the creations of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and we're doing exactly what we're meant to be doing. This conversation, this lesson we're having right now, what we're going to do 15 minutes after the lesson, tomorrow, next week, has already been predetermined by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. For he performeth the thing that is appointed for me, appointed from the Most High, and many such things are with him. But you got it, Kalaya.
No, I had the same exact precept that brother brought out.
Oh, Khan. I think you might have had something, Amawad.
I heard it. I brought it up.
Oh, you brought it up. Oh, you had something, Kushab?
Yeah, I got one too.
Okay. We'll get you, Kushab, and Kabar, and then we'll go back to that Sirach 33.
Okay, this is pretty much just backing up the point. You know, both of them precepts y'all brothers is about. It's Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, "Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way?"
Straight to the point. Man's goings are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his way? And you know, again, we're in these bodies, and you know, we have these minds. We have plans for what we would like to do, but then when it doesn't go according to plan, or it gets thrown in a completely opposite direction, and with these understanding of these scriptures, we know that it's ultimately through the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And as it says, I believe it's in like Isaiah 55, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. You may get thrown into a situation to where you think, man, the Most High is really putting it to me. Like, man, what did I do? But then a couple of months down the road, hey, you'll be able to see the bigger picture of things. Oh, the Most High put me through this. So what? I could, you know, be better off in this, you know, maybe deficiency I may have had in my spirit. He put me through these little trials that I wouldn't have gone through on my own volition. But now that I've gone through them, I can actually handle this situation now. But we'll get you, Kabar, and I think you have something, Kalaya?
I have.
Oh, Khan.
This is it's one that came to my mind. This is Acts 17:27. It says that they seek the Lord, if happily they may feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. And this is the point, 28. For in him we live and move and have our being. All right, as certain also of your own poets have it says have said we are. It says we are also his offspring.
Hey, Slakia, could you reread that first part again, Baba Kashab?
It says for in him, or the first one, 27.
The point you were wanting to get to, for in him.
Yeah, 28. It says for in him we live and move and have our being.
Hey, for in him we move and live and have our beings. Hey, we're just, you know, everything we do, everything we think ultimately comes from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. We're on our preordained path. And you know, it was a quote that character, you know, Dr. Manhattan made in that movie Watchmen, which always stuck with me, where he said, we're all puppets. I'm just a puppet that can see the strings. And when you have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that's what you are. That's what you know. Yeah, we know that we're puppets of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. But the thing is, we can see the strings. We can see that the Most High is the puppet master controlling everything. And we're not just out here, you know, like bobbleheads thinking we have free will and making our own decisions.
And we respect our position too. We know that he's the potter, we just the clay. You know, a lot of people don't want to even respect that. All right, you want to be the clay. You the clay, and you want to tell the potter, the guy who invents you, created you, all right, willed you, however he will. You want to tell him what to do. I want longer arms. I want to be taller. I want to think like this, dude. Nah, you don't determine that, man. All right, but it says, for in him we live and move and have our being. As certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring.
Con. And I'm what? Could you hold for me Isaiah 29 and 16 and also get that NLT of it?
Con.
Oh, I got one more. It says, For as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High, we are not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone, graven by art and man's device.
Something that the Most High is not something that man can manipulate. You know, when a man makes an idol or a instrument like Esau out here, he creates this technology to make him more godlike. So what? He thinks he's the God. He thinks he's the creator. But no, it's through the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that gave you the thought to create those things.
Hey, right there you have Paul, all right, basically using the Stoics of that time, using their own like literature against them, all right, for them to understand that the Lord is who he is, all right, because he basically like your own poets has said. So when you say the Stoics and the different what you call those people those times, like the philosophers, he was basically using philosophy to warm over. That's why he was like, your own poets have said, in the Lord we live, move, and have our being. So he was trying to get them to understand that even y'all understand that the Lord, y'all are the offspring, or y'all basically doing what the Lord have y'all do. And that's why he said that. And that's around the time he was dealing with those Stoics, man.
And just like we do sometimes, sometimes you have a Jake. He may be on a certain level. You get down this level, like a hip hop guy come out. All right. In most cases, to reel him in, I'm gonna use Kanye West. I'm gonna use Kodak Black. All these guys that quote unquote say they somewhat of an Israelite. I'm gonna use that to say, okay, look, even these guys have woken up to the nationality. Oh yeah, you're right. Jake. Those are the things that move Jake. And you gotta become a teacher, all right, or a prophet like that. Sometimes you gotta use certain. We always even the Lord puts this thing as fishing, all right. And a lot of brothers in the camp and different other places I know fish. Well, sometimes you just can't use the worm. Sometimes you got to use this type of bait to get this type of fish, all right, so on and so forth. Sometimes you use a net. Sometimes you use, but that's the same thing likened unto men, because the Lord likened the men as different fish. You're gonna have different fish come in, some lawful and some abominations, but you got to use certain tactics and crafts in order to reel men in, all right. And that's what Paul, like the brother said, that's what Paul was doing. If I'm in a room full of poets, all right, a room full of different fashions of men, well, I'm gonna talk their lingo.
You're gonna use poetry. Yep, you use poetry or whatever it is. Hey, sometimes you got to put a shrimp on the end of the line to catch fish, man.
Yeah.
You can't be y'all bill worm. You can put a shrimp, different, like the brother say. You just got to know how to hook. All right, you got to know how to do it. And Paul knew the levels of basically getting them to understand it. But he was getting them to understand the Lord. Because a philosopher, come off his heat, they kind of got it. Paul, like your own people, your own kind say that. But you got it, bro.
God, I got just a quick one to back up, both of the points y'all made. This is a 2 Corinthians 12 and 16. Let me see. Yeah, 12 and 16. But be it so, I did not burden you. Nevertheless, being crafty, I caught you with guile. Mm-hmm. Straight to the point. The Apostle Paul was saying, hey, and to back up what elder brother Yakanan Kaya was saying, he read the temperature of the room and acted accordingly. Like Apostle Paul also said, with those that are abased, I was abased. With those that were like this, I was like this and that. He could understand, and that's another thing that this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding gives you, a discernment, of spirits and stuff like that. So,
hey, I want to say one thing. God damn it! If I can win this man over, and he can possibly be the elect, and I got to use hip hop, I got to use sports, I got to use if he's a college type of dude and that college lifestyle, if I got to use that method to win him over, and he's just possibly be the elect, goddamn, I'm gonna use it, man. I'm gonna do it. If he comes from the world of college, the world of the church world, I'm gonna pull out the arsenal, man. All right. It is. I mean, we didn't in the past years. You know, you got different videos out there. The apostles dealing with people in college. The apostles, even us, we dealt with professors, all type of people, man. And I'm gonna get down on their level, you know. And I'm gonna say this: it's something I don't know. I'm gonna admit, I don't know about that. I never heard that. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna get down though, man. But go ahead, Doc.
You become all things for all men, like Paul said.
Let me get. I'm gonna find that scripture too. Watch it.
But yeah, while the elder brother's looking for it, you know, Paul said he used, you know, he used craft and guile, which, to back up your point, Kaya, that's exactly what the Apostle Paul was using with those philosophers. He took their, you know, philosophy and turned it on its head. He's like, well, don't even your own thoughts say what I'm talking about. So what kind of middle ground we can get to, and that gave them itching ears to inquire more.
Yeah, when you read up, you know, he tell you the Stoics, the Epicureans. Those, when you look those men up, those men, you know, that have all those ancient sayings. You know, some of those sayings we read today. You know, they was knowledgeable. So what Paul did was use their own knowledge against them. And it's like you said, it's crafty, but it's we looking righteous however we could get them. And a wicked man to get you to do wickedness however he could get you to do it. He didn't even lure you with righteousness just to do the wickedness. Hey, man, I love the Lord. Let's walk over in the alley. Then stick somebody up while you talking to him about the Lord.
Hey,
you know, so same thing.
This devil used the Bible. He used the Bible in Christianity to colonize the world and get everybody to follow after his wickedness.
He used the Apocrypha to inaugurate himself and swear himself in the Oval Office, man. Well, you got it, bro.
You find your precept Yakinat?
Oh, I'm trying to get it now. What's that scripture? I know it's Paul. It said how he became all things for all men's sake. Like to some men, if they were weak, I became weak. To the strong, I became strong.
9:22.
Let's see. Okay, let me get it. Well, I won't start at. Yeah, I'll start at 21. It says 1 Corinthians 9:21. It says, to them that are without law, as without law, being...
Start at 20.
Start at 20. 19.
Start at 19. Man, start at 1.
Start at the top.
Read the whole chapter.
It says 1 Corinthians 9:19, for though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more.
And what he's saying with that, he was free from what? All men's opinions and their ways of thought, because he had the truth. But for the truth's sake, he made himself servant to all men to, gain the elect that were among them.
Right. It says, and unto the Jews, I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews.
And the Apostle Paul was always going into, I'm a Hebrew of the Hebrews, trained under Gamaliel. The Apostle Paul, he had a very, expansive tool set, so to speak. If he was around, those of the circumcision, he could get down with them like of the circumcision. But when he was around the Gentiles, the Apostle Paul spoke Greek. He knew about boxing, so he was able to, intellectualize with them on their level, and all relay it back to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
It says, to them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. All right. It says, to them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to the Most High, but under the law of Hamashiach. that I might gain them that are without the law. All right, it says, to the weak, I became as weak. All right, it says, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all men save some.
Straight to the point. I was all things to all men, so that I would save some, save those that were of the elect. Straight to the point.
If I could bring this word out real quick, Ryan.
God, you got
Paul had mystique about himself. And when you look up the word mystique in the online etymology, it says spiritually allegorical, pertaining to the mysteries of the faith. And remember what Paul was given, no man had been given that. Man, you know, when Yahushua basically blinded him, all right, the knowledge that Paul received of Yahushua, he had to have a thorn in his flesh to buffet him, man. So the mysteries were shared unto Paul. Paul was stoned. He went up into the heavens. He didn't whether know he was in the body or out of the body. So the Lord was dealing with Paul on a mystique level, man. It says one who's been initiated, full of mysteries. And it says Paul writings are what? Hard to be understood. It says mystique of secret rites, right? He said, surely I would do nothing, but I would give my secrets unto the servants, the prophets, which Paul was a prophet. It says connected with the mysteries, connected with the secrets. One who had been initiated, meaning pertaining to occultic practice or ancient religions, that hidden from or obscure to human knowledge or comprehension. Fire.
Kind. And I'm looking for it right now, but the Apostle Paul, knowing how to maneuver himself in situations when he was cast in prison by that one centurion Jake. What was the Jake talking about? Oh, I obtained my Roman citizenship by a great sum. What did the Apostle Paul do to him? He said, hey, I was a Roman by birth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. Does anybody know where that one is off the top of the head?
Paul also prayed and wished that King Agrippa could be an Israelite.
And somebody hold that one too. Somebody get that one too.
Bro, there was no way he could be an Israelite. You brothers brought it out and Ecclesiastes 10 to jump the video off. And some be turned out of his place and some he sanctified. So it's nothing nobody could do to have their lot maintain, like the Lord maintain his every man lot. So it ain't like he gonna switch it up. But hey, Paul said, man, I pray that you become an Israelite. There's no way you could become an Israelite. You got it, bro.
Hey, it reminds me of a situation Elder Yashuan, but the Dallas camp was talking about once. There was a situation to where the cops came up and were talking to him, and he got into a conversation with them about Black Lives Matter and how, that ain't really about black people. It's about all this kind of freak shit. And he and the cop came to an agreement. And, the cop, whatever he was coming up to tell them about, he completely changed his opinion and let him be.
I got that account for you.
Okay.
You got it. Sorry, you can read it.
This Acts 22 and 24. The chief captain commanded him to be brought into the castle and bade that he should be examined by scourging. Talking about Paul, they're trying to persecute him, that he might know wherefore they cried so against him. And as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned?
Hey, so the Apostle Paul, he was in prison. He knew that punishment that was coming down unto him. So what? The Apostle Paul was thinking, okay, so this centurion, who we can assume, we know he was a Jake. So he probably looked like a Jake, a Judite in the Roman armor and stuff. So he's like, let me play on his top and use some guile and craft to get myself out of this situation. Keep going on.
It says, when the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman.
Keep going.
Then the chief captain came and said unto him, tell me, art thou a Roman? He said, yeah.
Keep going.
And the chief captain answered, with a great sum obtained I this freedom. And Paul said, but I was freeborn.
So what was the Apostle Paul pretty much saying in modern terms? I have diplomatic immunity. You know, how like with these migrants that are committing all these crimes out here, you know, the cops can't do anything because, you know, a lot of them will say, oh, I've got political asylum or something like that. So you can't affect me. So the Apostle Paul did the exact same thing.
And to clear up the L, so you know, listeners know, Paul was not a Roman. When you read in the book of Romans 11, he said, I'm clearly an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. So when he said he was a Roman, wasn't he from Tarshish or something like that? But I think he was from Tarshish, I believe. All right. When he said he was a Roman, he was basically saying he was of the land or around Romans, man. Why we call ourselves Americans, but we're Israelites. We're Israelites indeed. So Paul was basically using God saying, look, I'm one of y'all. But he really is not by what? By lineage, but he is by what? By what you call it? By association, basically around those people, man. You got it, brother.
Hey, Kalaya, hold 1 Samuel 21 and 12 and read down to 15 when you get a chance.
No. You about to say something, Kalaya?
Kind of like, you know, if Jake get hemmed up or something like that, hey, and there's like the brother brought out those immigrants, they'll ask you like, hey, where are you from? And you, hey, I'm from the United States. You know, I'm American. Like you said, bro, clearly we are Israelites, man. Clearly.
Yeah.
But to them, you know, you tell them, hey, I'm American.
Hey, can you read verse?
Salakia, you said 1 Samuel what, Elder? Salakia.
21 and 12 and read down to 15.
Con, I got it.
Could you read 29 real quick, Amawad, in that Acts 22?
God, this Acts 22 and 29. Then straightway they departed from him, which should have examined him, and the chief captain also was afraid, after he knew that he was a Roman, and because he had bound him.
And look, the Apostle Paul got himself out of a punishment by what? Using craft and guile to play on that centurion's top.
God, I got that for you, Elder. It's
you can break it down, Ryan. I had brought it out for you. To go with the account with Paul.
Yeah, this 1 Samuel's chapter 21, and if I may, I'm gonna jump up one verse 11, and it reads, and the servants of what is his name, Achish said unto him, is not this David the king?
That's the spirit. That's that account. I was thinking if that was going to be that account you were looking for, Yakada.
It reads, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul had slain his thousands and David his 10,000s? And David laid up these words in his heart and was sore afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. And he changed his behavior before them and frightened himself mad, and feigned himself mad in their hands, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall upon his beard. Then said Achish unto his servants, Lo, ye see the man is mad? Wherefore then have you brought him to me?
Hey, King David was, he was in a tight position where they knew who he was and his reputation, and they about to send him to the spirit world. So what does Yaiquab mean? Supplanter. So he supplanted himself out of getting put to death by acting like a lunatic. Like this isn't David. This is a slow belly. This is a madman. Like, what are you doing bringing this guy to me? And that reminds me of that instance when Abraham and Sarah were amongst those Hamites, And he told Sarah to say, look, say that thou art my sister instead of my wife, because thou art beautiful. Because if you say you're my wife, hey, the ruler of this town, this city, gonna put me to death and take you. But does somebody have that one account where the Apostle Paul was telling Agrippa that he wished that even he were a Jew?
Let's see here. Let's see.
I thought Humble I had it, but he read that one, a different one.
I think it's 26.
Yep. It's 25.
25. Yeah. Oh, 26 is when he says, "You almost persuaded me to be a Christian."
I think it's 25 and 24. Let I go up some. Oh, yeah, it's right up in there. So you call him most notable Festa?
Most.
It's right up in him. Might be passing it up. I'm right on top of it though. Then goes down to Festa. Yeah, we'll get it.
Acts, I think it's Acts 26 and 28.
I got it.
Maybe start.
Yeah, that's it.
No, that's not the one. He is one where he said, like Paul prayed is like he could be a Jew or Israelite. I gotta look for it, Slocky. I'll read that one, though. This Acts 26 and 27. It says, King Agrippa, believest thou the prophets? I know that thou believest. Then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian.
And hey, he said, believest thou? I know thou believest. Why? Because, Herod Agrippa, he was an Edomite, but what? He was the king of the Jews set up by the Romans. So he would have to, play that part. Oh, I'm a Jew and I believe the prophets and in the scriptures. So the Apostle Paul was, using guile and craft and playing on his top. I know you believe you're a Jew, right? But yeah, if we can't find that, we can scratch it. That's kind of the main point. But yeah, as the Apostle Paul says, there are lessons within lessons. But you still have that Isaiah 29 and 16 act.
Come. This is Isaiah 29 and 16. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? Question mark.
As we were going into at the beginning of this lesson, everybody is in their own preordained, predetermined lot. And who is anything to, what is the potter, the potter's vessel to say to the potter that created it? Why did you make me this way? Hey, it was all through the will of the Most High for you to fulfill your preordained role. You got the NLT version out, and then you got a collide.
This Isaiah 29 and 16. How foolish can you be? He is the potter, talking about the Most High, and he is certainly greater than you, the clay. Should the created thing say of the one who made it, he didn't make me? Does a jar ever say, the potter who made me is stupid?
Straight to the point. Does the vessel say to the potter that created, are you stupid? No, it's just completely out of the question. Even though Esau would like to do that. Esau wants to subvert the Most High and shew himself as the Most High and thinks that he's gotten everything of his own volition. But no, you you stupid dummy. The Most High set you up in that position to be the wicked and what? Do the things that you think is going to fulfill your own, your own new world order, but really it's fulfilling the new world order of the Israelites. It's bringing about the end of your kingdom and bringing about the kingdom of heaven.
It was 29. I just kept looking for it. It was the next verse after I read it. Read 28.
Hey, you brothers still read it? We still in the same conversation.
So that's when he said, then Agrippa said unto Paul, almost thou persuadest me to be a Christian. And Paul said, I would to God that not only thou, but also all that hear me this day were both almost and altogether such as I am. And what was Paul? Paul was a Jew. So he's like, look, not only you, but everybody that's hearing me, I will hope that y'all will be such as I am, all Christian. So he basically like, look, man, I would to God. So Paul like, man, I wish God to make this happen, like to have y'all be what I am, right? We know Paul go like, huh?
I said, you know damn well Paul didn't give a damn, man.
Paul ain't give a damn. He just said what he had to say to get out, get what he got to get. We Yaquab, like the brother said, you got it.
I think in the next chapter earlier up, the Apostle Paul said, I believe every word of the prophets and the book. So if that's the case, he believes that, the other nations are spittle to the Most High. Israel's on top, and the Edomites are going into slavery and going to get destroyed. But the Apostle Paul used guile and craft to get himself out of that situation. And when you read what Festus and Agrippa thought of him after he made that statement, they said something along the lines of, why did he even need to come before Caesar? We could have just handled this situation right here before the governor. Like, I don't see this guy trying to foment a sedition or preach anything of violence. This didn't even need to get this far up the ladder. Like, what are you doing? But I know you've been holding something, Kalaya.
Khan, you had made a statement a while early on in the lesson, and you pretty much was going into how the law to be, on Jake ass and Jacob be like, damn, what's going on? But really, the Lord is, down the line, girding you up, pretty much keeping you from, hurting yourself or whatever. But this is scripture to back it up. This Job 33 and 15. And it reads, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men and the slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instructions. It reads, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword.
Hey, Connor, this is a popular precept we always bring up down here when we get somebody that comes up to the camp and they stay around for a while and are inquiring. We tell them, look, the Most High, you were down here on Canal Street. You were gonna go to Bourbon. You're gonna get a drink. You were planning on in so-called enjoying your Saturday, but you came across a bunch of guys reading the Bible, and here we are an hour and a half later, and you're still here inquiring about it. The Most High sealed your instructions the night before to take you away from your previous purpose, and it was all to do what? Fulfill His will. Your lot was to come before the camp that day to whether receive salvation or receive judgment. And you got it.
If I could say, man, the Lord's so cold. He have Jake thinking that even the smallest and what Jacob say stupid thoughts that he might think that those are his own thoughts or his free will thoughts. But even those small minute things, the Lord still made you think those things. Like that's wild to even imagine, man. But you got it.
Could somebody get me a Jeremiah 10 and 23? But you can bring out your precept, Bayan.
Con.
Got
This
you
is-
one too.
Con.
Ecclesiasticus of the book of Sirach, chapter 18, verse 1. It says, "He that liveth forever hath created all things in general."
Beautiful precept you're bringing. That's one of my favorites.
Con.
That's the one I was holding, bro.
You gonna bring it out? God. This is Sirach 18 and 1. It says, "He that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he." And this is the point. "Who governed the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will."
Hey, who governed the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. You know, those men, the men that were created for diverse manners, some to be uplifted and righteous, and some to be, you know, cursed and abased and wicked. And could somebody bring up that Proverbs 16 and 4? Because contrary to popular belief, the wicked have their role to play, and the role that they play is beautiful in the grand scheme of things.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 4. It says, "The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil."
And what's the day of evil? You know, ultimately those nukes, but you know what, leading up to the mandatory implementation of the MOTB, the nukes afterwards, and then what comes after that? The kingdom. So the Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai has made all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. I know you. That's one of your favorite precepts, Kabar. How can the good come unless the evil not pass away first? Like we had to go through these evil times. They had to be set up to fulfill their purpose to what? Ultimately show us what wickedness looks like, so that when the righteousness does come up, it does spring forth, we'll be the perfect judges, knowing good and evil. And what? The Most High is a balanced power, knowing good and evil. So we're going to be balanced powers, knowing good and evil. And it says the Most High, what? He hates, you know, an unjust, how's it go? Unbalanced weight. Not overly good, not overly evil, you know, even kilter. But
I got a little bit more.
Con.
Last verse. It says, again, verse 3, "Who governed the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane."
Beautiful. Tying it back to that Sirach, you know, some things created to be uplifted and righteous, and some things created to be cursed and you know, base and wicked. But they are, all things are created for his will to fulfill his purposes. And as it said in that Sirach 18 you brought, he is all righteousness. So at the end of the day, every single thing that's played out and every decision that's been made is you know, the righteous right decision, because it was Yahweh that ordained it to take place. And we can clearly see that's the case, because look at where we're at right now. Israel's waking up, Esau's going down, and we are, as Apostle Tahar is saying, we can say we're months away, you know, from salvation, from the kingdom of heaven, whether that be 12 months, 36 months, etc., etc. This we ain't afar off, but everything else had to take place beforehand to get there. And everything that took place before this very moment, you know, led to this very moment. But I know you had one, Kabar.
Oh yeah, I got one. Con.
And who else said they had one? Oh, Con. You got a, Kabar, and then somebody hold for me that Jeremiah 10 and 23.
Okay.
Con, there's Proverbs 19 verse 21. "There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand."
You can break it down, huh?
The kind, like I said, many devices means devices is setting up a plan. So there's many plans that go to a people's hearts, and people's minds, of what they want to do for that certain time or a certain day. But at the end of the day, hey, it said right here, it said the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. I mean, whoever plans the Lord had for you, that's gonna happen. It's gonna be done. Not your plan.
It reminds me of a quote from a movie where a guy was going to fight against his enemies, and he was talking to the doorman, you know, of the door he was about to go through. And he said, I have no plans on dying today. He was confident, and the doorman told him, no man does. So, hey, the man has many devices, but at the end of the day, however the Most High casts that lot into the lap, hey, that's going to be the meat and the end of the matter. But you got to collide.
Con, did a brother bring out Proverbs 5:21?
No.
Heard that. Yeah, this the book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 21, and it reads, "For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings."
Hey, the ways of you got it.
You got it.
Con, the ways of man are before Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And reread that last part, Baba Kashab.
It says, and he pondereth all his goings.
And when you're pondering something, you're thinking on it. So the Most High is thinking about all your goings, and he already knows, what that next step you're going to take is. As simple as that. But you got that Jeremiah 10 and 23.
I got it in the NLT too, but I'm going to read the KJV first. It says, Jeremiah 10 and 23, it says, "O Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps."
Hey, the way of man is not in himself or to direct his steps. With all these, precepts we've been going into with this lesson, everything has already been, predetermined by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And there's nothing you can do to escape, your fate, your destiny. You're not going to be like Kratos and go to the Sisters of Time and pull the loom to go change your fate. This isn't Back to the Future. This isn't anything like that. Everything has been preordained from the beginning of man. I think it says it in 2nd Ezra chapter 6. But at the beginning, before anything ever happened, the Most High already knew how it was. Before existence was created, the Most High already knew what was going to play out once it was created.
Yeah, he said that in Isaiah. Declaring the end from the beginning.
That's and what backing up the NLT at Isaiah 29 and 16, you dummy, you're gonna say to the potter, you're an idiot for making me this way. We're talking about a power that had you making these decisions in 2024 thousands of years ago.
That's wild.
Think of all the thoughts that one man have in a lifetime. And the Lord give that man continual thoughts like that. And he know all those thoughts. And think of the measure of his thoughts. Come on, brother. That's why the Isaiah 55 is in place. Like, your thoughts are not your thought. My ways are not your ways, man. They are higher. So you can't even remember thoughts you had 5-10 years ago, brother. But you had them. And the Lord, they sealed up with the Lord. You got it, bro.
And the Most High...
Oh, you got it.
And the Most High put it in your mind to not remember those thoughts from 5 to 10 years ago. Hey, the Most High had your thoughts predetermined in your past lives. What you were thinking then, what you were going to think in that reincarnation, what you're going to be thinking in this reincarnation, what you're going to be thinking in the kingdom.
Lord,
I'm gonna get that too.
That's why he said before we even ask him for anything, he's already gonna give it to us because he knows we don't. He put the thought in our head to ask for it.
Brother, 2 minutes ago, you can't remember everything your brain just thought about. 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Bro, the Lord cheating us and helping us at the same time. Like, it's like not cheating, but it's like he's going before, after us, with us. It's like, God damn, brother. He everything, brother.
What else?
The Ancient of Days.
Mm-hmm.
What is scripture in Ecclesiastes? And the Lord tell you how basically he brought out your mind. It's in Ecclesiastes, I know.
What you about to say, Amawai?
Oh yeah, to prove man's goings are of the Lord. Ryan, did you know before we were gonna do this lesson that we were gonna go into Apostle Paul and Agrippa?
No,
none of us.
Agrippa was the farthest thing from my mind.
But the Lord wanted it to come out. Somebody, needed to hear.
Hey, the Most High like bringing out those Amalekites. I think Herod and them they were Amalekite Edomites. That's that's neither here nor there though.
God.
Y'all know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, there's no remembrance of former things.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that,
it's 1 and 11.
Oh,
1 and 11. 1 and. Bring it out real fast.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
Yeah, that was to add to what you were saying, Raya. Basically, the Lord blots out your mind from knowing your past thoughts. All right, even your past reincarnations. Because it was like we always say, if you knew how you died in the past, it'd probably bug you out, man. Seeing you was thrown overboard off a wooden ship, all right, coming from the shores of Africa, you got thrown to the sharks, you were hung, all right, you died this way, all right. Then that's on a bigger tip. That's just on a bigger tip. But just like the brother said, this is your last thoughts in the last couple of days. You can't remember that, man.
kind.
And just show you how deep and complex the Most High is, man. Like we always say, your arms are too short to box with the Most High, man. He stands outside of all this. All right, he's a director. All right, until he gets tired of cut, he's the director. Everything that goes on with you, with the different parts that's moving around you, the people, everything. The Most High controls all that, man. All right.
And I'll say this, this is one thing, I've been, learning to, go with the flow with, as we've been going into, as the brother Kalaya brought out with that Job, 33. You may have your own plan of what you're going to do that day, but the Most High would draw man from his purpose. I'll have, things, I'll have a plan on how the day is going to go out, and then a curveball happens. But, instead of getting frustrated, I've been working on myself to sit back and just say, look, there's a bigger reason behind why this is happening. So, looking at it spiritually and going through that situation, how the day plays out, it plays out different from what I planned, but it actually, made my day shorter or made my day more convenient for me. And it was completely opposite of what I would have done if the day would have went how I wanted it to go. So saying that to say this, as it said in that Sirach 18, the Most High is all righteousness. So whatever plays out, it's supposed to play out, and it perfectly plays out because it's the will of the Most High.
God, I wanted to get this Jeremiah 10:23 in the NLT. It says, I know, Yahweh, that our lives are not our own. We are not able to plan our own course.
I think that's the quote in Cloud Atlas. Our lives are not our own. I think they say that in the movie. And what's that movie about? A reincarnation and somebody doing one thing in their past life, which affects their life hundreds of years in their next reincarnation. But that's beautiful you brought that out. Our lives are not our own. And our lives are in the hands, in the palm of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to move it whichsoever he will, to fulfill his will.
I got one to back that up and to back up what you previously said. This is Ecclesiastes in the Bible 12 and 14 says the wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceive also that one event happened unto them all. Then said I in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even unto me. And why was I even more wise? Then I said in my heart, then this is also vanity. Now this the point right here. 16. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever. Seeing that which is now is the days to come shall all be forgotten. And now died the wise man as the fool.
All things to be forgotten. Just backing up that Ecclesiastes 1 earlier, there's no remembrance of former things. And we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. It all is through the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. You know, I know this is Kaya's one of his favorites. A wise man's eyes are in his head. You know, he's got his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in his head, and it sees with his spiritual eyes that what the Most High is in control of everything. And I know that what, however this situation's playing out, is through the will of the Most High, and the best I can do is vanity to ponder. Well, what if I step left instead of stepping right? What if I would have spent 5 more minutes, you know, brushing my teeth? No, however the situation played out, that's how it was going to play out. And the knowledge of it is to know that it's through the will of the Most High, and you know that it's my fuck up. There is no fuck ups with the Lord.
The butterfly effect, man. Oh, I got one too. I said the butterfly effect. It says this one. Ooh, let me see. Yeah, this one in the back up. It says oh, let me get to it. Oh, what we doing? Yeah, this is James. Yeah, this is James 4:13. Go now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. All right, but this is the point. 14. Whereas ye know not what so be on tomorrow or tomorrow. For what is your life? ? It is even a vapor that appear for a little time and then vanish it away.
And that's why we say, you know, Lord willing, Adawan Ratazah, that we may do these things and hope nothing bad happens, because we can't plan for tomorrow. You know, we can have an idea what we would like to do, but as for executing those plans, that's not in our hands. And was it saying Sirach also, there was a rich man that built up his granaries and, you know, set himself up. Oh, I've done all the work I wanted to do, so I'm gonna rest tomorrow and enjoy the fruits of my labors. That next day he died and left all that hard work to others.
There's no, like the brother's been saying, there's no such thing as coincidence, right? Like nothing, you get coincidence and all, like etymologists say, exact correspondence in substance or nature, right? So nothing just falls into play. If you walk into money or find a wallet with money, it was meant for you to find it. You got to think about it. There's billions of people walking in the world. If you find some money downtown, it's millions of people that walk downtown. But you the only one found the money. It was because it was for you. It wasn't for anybody else. So, like you say, nothing is happening by way of coincidence, man. You're not falling upon something. All right. If something is before you, it's before you. And if you don't get something, it wasn't meant for you to get it. It don't matter what it is. Or if you lose something, it wasn't meant for you to keep it. The Lord is a balance, right? It says a little more coincidence, occurrence, or existence during the same time, meaning a concurrence of events with no apparent connection, accidental or incidental agreement, right? So when we like, oh, this is just a coincidence. No, it ain't. It's nature. It's by nature. Nature didn't happen by coincidence. It was designed. It was detailed. The moon and the stars, it didn't coincidentally appear, man. It was detailed. It was purposed. All right, you got it, brother.
God, I think King David said, you know, I am fearfully made. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Mm-hmm. There's no coincidences. There's only the illusion of coincidences. And if you're under an illusion, you're under a delusion. You don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so you bugged out.
And the Lord said, "Gonna give them." He cause delusion to make believe a lie. Yeah,
like, they should not be saved.
Believe the lie. There's nothing they could do to not, but there's nothing we could do to not teach the truth of the Lord. Like, you gotta do it. Until, like you say, you like turn you off. Got an on-off switch, man. You know, I don't want to write this down. We continue, but we know the Lord controls that too.
Yeah, you got it, bro. It's a hell of a calling, man, because I said it before plenty of times on the block. If you go back let's just go all the way back. Let's go to the year 2000, 2001, 2005, whatever. And somebody was to come up and tell you, hey, you know, you're gonna be a prophet of the Lord. You're gonna be a preacher, whatever. You know, your whole makeup, what you do is gonna be based on a Saturday with a garment on. You know, signs. You're gonna have dudes with you, plenty of guys with you. You wouldn't believe that, man. Get out of here, man. Crazy, man. What you talking about? You heard me? Bitch, you better stop playing with me.
Bro.
You know, you're not Jake. You gonna stop playing with me. You know, and you'll never believe it, man. And then, yeah. Then all of a sudden, poof. Your respected year, whatever respected time you came in the truth or found out the truth, it all happened. This is not by chance, man. It's not like we always say, this is not a coincidence that men fairly around the same age as you all had the same story around the world. I found this out on the internet. I walked by the camp. All right. I did this, did that. And you talk to the guys from the other side of the world. You know, you talk to the brothers. They had one particular brother. I can't remember. He kind of escaped me. This brother lived in. I think he lived in. He was in London or so. But I talked to that brother. Came in the truth the same way. Talked to the brothers from other different camps, other different cities. The same story, man. All right. So this is not a coincidence. What you about to say?
I found the one quote from Cloud Atlas, but I found another quote from Cloud Atlas. I'm gonna just read them real quick. Our lives are not our own. We are bound to others, past and present, and by each crime and every kindness we birth our future.
Ooh, that's deep.
Hey, what does it say? And after the judgment, after death, then shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And here's another quote.
Salaki, I think y'all can now read it in Ecclesiastes when I think he said time and chance happening to them all. You read that one, right? Same thing, man. Time and chance happening to us all, man. But just in unison, it happened to where we all ended up here. So that's not coincidence. Like, wait a minute, he didn't believe, that brother believed in 2006, but then that brother believed in 2016. But the thing is, they believed. It came together still. You know, you got it, bro.
Here's another quote. Yesterday, my life was headed in one direction. Today, it is headed in another. Yesterday, I believed that I would never have done what I did today.
Yeah.
To the brothers that ain't seen that movie Cloud Atlas, that's a must watch.
They got the saying, today is the yesterday. Well, tomorrow. Today is the yesterday. The tomorrow we waited for yesterday. I think it's that. It's today is the tomorrow we waited for yesterday. But like you said, it's a recycle. Like, you still only getting where you going at because, like you said, the Lord got it already set forth for you, man. It's already set up for us, bro.
I got a precept, bro.
Any other brothers have any precepts? Because we'll probably just send it off on you.
Nah, that's it.
You got it, Kushab.
Oh, Khan. This Psalms 139:16. I'm reading the KJV, then I'm gonna read it in the NLT. It says, "Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being imperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them." And this in the NLT, it says, "You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed."
Hey, in your book, all my members were fashioned. What did it say in Jeremiah? You know, I fashioned you from the womb, exactly what you were going to look like, what your life was going to be, that you would be a man of the Lord. Then what's it saying in Revelation? The books were open, those that were written in the book of life, which they were written in the book of life from the beginning, all their members, and those that were written in that other book, that book of destruction. But yes, that was a heavy one. Kind.
The Lord said, He have graven us on the palm of His hand. And He said, He have carried us from the womb. That's Amawai, one of Amawai's favorite scriptures. The Lord said, I have, I go Amawai, I have graven thee in the palm of thy hand.
Yeah, you can't forget us.
Like we remember.
You're gonna go.
Yeah, how many times you look at your hand each day, man?
Exactly.
On the real. But it looked the same. Like your hand, it's the same hand. Like you don't got a new hand, brother. When you look at it, this is how your hand look. You know, the palm of your hand, it looked the same way, man. You know, you got to do, bro.
Hey, I remember watching some movie back then. I don't know if the dude child died or went missing, but the dude, he can remember like every scar, every blemish, whatever it may be on the child. That's how the Most High is with his men. All right, really, the Lord knows everything about everybody, man. He knows where your so-called birthmark is. You know, He knows where every cut, scratch, whatever on us, man. All right, you dealing with a work master, a creator, the creator of all things, man. He knows every goddamn thing, man. And I mean everything. From your thoughts, from because the Lord, however our personality is, where we get our personality from? The Most High. All right. He has that. He possesses all personalities, man. From anger, happy, whatever, man. It just show you how far out of the frame of man's mind the Most High is. The Most High is. I don't even want to say the word deep. It's past deep, man. The Most High. You see some of the things. You just vast in some of the things that the Most High be doing. How certain people is, or just I wonder. Since I didn't came in the truth, I just wonder that the Most High, the animals, the Most High, then Yahweh Shai created. Starting when Yahweh Shai, I just wonder that, man. It's just wow. Look at a praying mantis, man. That's a wild creation. And it's just an insect. All right, we talking about a little insect and how this is how look how crazy it is in the name that it possesses, man. All right, and them things they vicious too, boy. You look at the scripture brings out another insect, the hornet. And the Lord likened us unto the hornet. All right, and that's what we're gonna do. What the hornet possesses, what it does when it catches its enemies, it bites the heads of its enemies off, man. And that's what we're gonna do our enemies in the future. All right, but it just shows you how deep the Most High has. The Most High has everything on his playing field how He wants it, man. All right, and man, I can go all day with that though, bro. Go ahead.
Hey, what's it saying, Sirach? No matter how much, roughly paraphrase, no matter how much you praise the Lord, you cannot praise Him enough because it far exceeds.
I'm holding that. I'm holding that. This Sirach 43 and 30. When you glorify the Lord, exalt Him as much as you can, for even yet will He far exceed. And when ye exalt Him, put forth all your strength and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough.
Hey, He put the amount of strength in you to glorify Him. How much He wanted you to glorify Him, He put that in you.
It says, there are yet here greater things than these be.
Hey,
31, my bad. Yeah. Who has seen Him that He might tell us, and who can magnify Him as He is? There are yet here greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of His works.
Hey, I know it's one of your favorites where it says, even when the lightning strikes, it gives Him, his honors after it strikes.
I'm gonna say it says, he's who can down send His lightning is in Job. And it said, here am I, Lord, meaning we made it. Like, can we strike? Are we okay to strike? Like, man, come on, man. Come on, man. What we talking about here? But you got it, bro.
Any brothers had any precepts or closing points they wanted to make?
No, that was it.
God. Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Aki and man Akwaf were edified by this live Shabbat lesson. And before we get out of here, again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Barakah, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.